Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Game Things. I'm your host for the week, Ming, and today we'll start off our episode by talking about the most recent state of play. So recently, PlayStation announced that Astrobot, their most recent popular title, will be getting 5 new online speedrunning levels. So yes, you heard that correctly, we will be getting brand new speedrunning levels, which is great because nowadays speedrunning is getting bigger and bigger, and there are still a lot of developers that don't really support speedrunning yet, and they kind of don't like it when gamers try to break the game by trying to exploit glitches to end the level as fast as possible. But it's fun to see that speedrunning is starting to become more prevalent in the gaming industry, and developers are doing something to make it such that speedrunning can be enjoyed within the game itself. And the good thing is this speedrunning levels will be free and it will be available sometime in spring 2024, which is definitely great. Aside from that, during this state of play, we also got a brand new Souls-like game, I guess. Not really, I guess. It's an action adventure game, but it does remind me of Souls-like, but unlike most of the Souls-like out there where it's more old school fantasy, this title, Hell Is Us, looks more modern. You have robots, stuff like that. And the cool thing is you also have a character that looks a lot like Spot from the most recent Spider-Man and Miles Morales movie. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. The gameplay itself looks pretty alright. I do like some of the tech related stuff that they showcase, like you have drones and stuff like that. You don't normally see that, I guess, in most of these type of action adventure games that we see nowadays. So yeah, pretty good change of pace, I guess. So if you're interested in it, definitely check it out. Aside from that, we'll also be talking about a brand new Lego game, which is kinda, I don't know how I feel about it, but it is pretty interesting. So the Lego game that I'm gonna talk about is Lego Horizons Adventures. And effectively, this Lego game is based on the popular title Horizon Zero Dawn. So yeah, if you guys know about any of the Lego games, it's basically more jokey, more fun, more carefree, more relaxed, and you mess around, create a lot of funny Lego construct. Basically, it's more of a light-hearted game, but the thing is, Horizon Zero Dawn itself is a more serious game, so it's kind of weird to have a Lego game based on Horizon Zero Dawn, but I mean, if you like the character enough, I can definitely see the appeal because the game itself does feature like a lot of really cool robotic constructs. So when you think about it from a Lego perspective, all these robotic constructs can definitely be built from Lego. So yeah, pretty cool concept, but I don't really know how I feel about it because the game is kind of dark and the main character is kind of always moody, so yeah. Anyway, moving on from that, we also have a brand new Monster Hunter Wilds trailer, and of course, the most important thing, the release date. So yeah, the trailer itself just showcased some bits of the story, some of the bosses, not really a lot of major spoilers, but the most important thing is, of course, the launch date, and the launch date will be on the 28th of February 2025. So yeah, about half a year or so from now. So still a pretty long while to go, but hey, it's Monster Hunter, we all can look forward to it when it's released. And lastly, the main title that was basically the highlight of this state of play is effectively Ghost of Tsushima 2, otherwise known as Ghost of Yōtei. So Ghost of Yōtei is the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, but it's not really a direct sequel. You can think of it more of a anthology series because the main character is, well, not the main character from the first game. Instead, it's a completely different character in a different time period. So yeah, it's basically still in olden day Japan, and instead of playing the original guy character, now you're playing as a female. So yeah, completely different characters, completely different story, which is pretty cool. And yeah, the game itself is supposed to be released sometime in 2025, but we don't exactly know when yet. But if you played the previous Ghost of Tsushima, you'll definitely enjoy Ghost of Yōtei. Anyway, that basically covers all the state of play games, and now we move on to a delay that was surprisingly or maybe unsurprisingly announced. And this delay is on, well, Assassin's Creed Shadow. So yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadow has been delayed to February 14th, 2025. and effectively now it will be available on Steam day one. Honestly, I would say that this is a pretty smart move from Ubisoft, because if you actually did take a look in a lot of the controversies in regarding to Assassin's Creed Shadow, basically there were a lot of things whereby, you know, the historical accuracy was not correct. They were trying to basically cater to the LGBT community, stuff like that. They were basically just trying to cater to the masses, but at the same time, gamers just kind of don't care about these things. Like, we want a good game, and we don't really need you to pander to specific audiences, and we kind of just don't care at all. And of course, you know, there's also the recent controversy about Star Wars Outlaws, and the game itself just didn't do well. So yeah, Ubisoft's stock price effectively tanked. And when I said tanked, I meant it. Yeah. So effectively, the delay is basically to just push the date back and, you know, try and make the game even better, maybe, I guess, just so that, you know, they can kind of recover their reputation in the industry. But at this point in time, I would say their reputation is kind of in the dirt, but hey, it is what it is. Anyway, moving on from that, let's talk about some games that you can get your hands on right now, starting with Disney Epic Mickey Rebrush, available on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series S and X, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. So yeah, not much to say about this game. We have covered it a couple times already. The game itself is basically just a remastered of a pretty old game, and I would say if you did play the game before, you should definitely pick it back up again, because the game itself seems pretty great, and it does have a lot of the nostalgic art style that was featured back in the day. And I mean, the game itself seems fine. It's it seems like a pretty enjoyable solo player game, you know. If you want to go ahead and just spend some time just enjoying a game, it's definitely a pretty good buy, I would say. But if you are looking for a brand new experience for a single player game, I actually recommend this upcoming title, which actually you can get it right now, which is Legends of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. So yeah, Echoes of Wisdom doesn't really play like a lot of the other Legends of Zelda games, because Echoes of Wisdom is, well, focused on Zelda. Yeah, she's the main character, and you kind of have to control, like, I think some sort of fairies or something like that. I don't really know the Zelda lore, sorry. But yeah, it's kind of like, for lack of a better comparison, Pokemon, where like you catch like certain fairies and stuff like that, and you're supposed to use their powers to help you, you know, play through the game. Yeah, so pretty different experience compared to the usual Zelda games where, you know, you play as Link and you go around beating up these guys and stuff like that. Yeah, really different experience, and I would say that is a more interesting title that you can sort out right now if you have a Switch. And that's basically all the titles that we have for you guys this week. Now we move on to our last and final segment, Free Things. So this week Epic Games Store is giving out The Spirit and the Mouse, whereas PS Plus subscribers, you guys are getting WWE 2K24, Dead Space, as well as Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. So be sure to grab these games while they are still available. And yeah, that basically marks the end of our episode for this week. Once again, I was your host Ming. If you guys enjoyed the episode, please leave a like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week on another episode of Game Things.